It all started with a pack of tea. I just began learning Turkish at the university when I saw a pack of tea in our kitchen, Georgian tea, with a Georgian writing on it. Of course, I had seen Georgian writings a lot in the past, because my childhood was in the Soviet Union and we had lots of Georgian products, spices and tea and everything. But at this time, it was very different. At this time, I got a great desire to study Georgian language and to learn it. At that time, I had never visited Georgia, and it was a great desire also to visit Georgia, to be there, to see what it's like. I really felt I felt drawn to it, to the Caucasus in general. Of course, first I visited Georgia in the year 1997 as I was passing by on the bus. And then since I visited Georgia so many times and I stayed there for even as long as 2 weeks. So, at that time, when I began studying Georgian and I had never been to Georgia, somebody gave me a self-study book and I made a great progress. The sound of Georgian language is just fascinating to me. It doesn't have short vowels or long vowels. It has a large variety of different consonants and almost no stress. Presently, this is the only book that I have in Georgian language. This is a New Testament and Psalms. And let me just open a random page and read a little bit in Georgian so you can hear the language. So, we'll open here, for instance, and this is Luka 24. Yeso atzcha deba tertmets, which means like Jesus shows himself to the 11. So it's chapter 24, verse 36. Am la parakshi rom iqvnen tviton yeso chagda mat shuada utkra mshvidobat kwenda. So when they were there during this discussion, Jesus himself stood in the midst of them and said, Mshvidobat kwenta. Mshvidoba means peace, like shalom. Mshvidoba. So, for instance, you see 3 consonants together, the m, sh, v, mshvidoba. Georgian letters are pretty simple. There are no capital letters, no small letters like in Hebrew and Arabic, and also each letter represents one sound. But those sounds, man, I mean, there are several. There is t and t, and there is k and k and k, which I cannot probably pronounce very correctly. The Georgians would criticize me. But it's a very difficult sound that comes from your throat. One of the interesting facts about Georgian language is the Georgian lexicon, I would say, is that father and mother are the opposite of English, mom and dad. So father is mama, mother is deda. You see, the other way around. One of the surprising things also in Georgian language is the way they count in 20s. They call 20 otsi. You can remember this word, otsi. And so when I want to say 40, I say 2 20s, or motsi. So there is no word for 50. 50 consists of 2 20s and 10, or mots daati. And when you want to say 1,000, you also don't have a certain word. You just have 10 and 100. 100 is asi, ati, asi. You join them and you have atasi, which means 1,000. Well, if I want to say something in Georgian, I want to say like I finished the university in the year 1998. This will be like 1998. So I will have to say that I finished the university in Atas, Tsraas, Ormots, Datvramet Tsels. Here we have all this counting system. Atas, 10 hundreds, Tsraas, 900, Othmots, 4 20s, Tvrameti, and 18. Also, Georgian polyphonic singing is very famous and very beautiful. And it is spring now, it's April the 10th. So why not listen to the song called Gazapkhuli, which means spring.
Gazapkhuli satildaria Sesusini tslimaskveni savsegulida Digitada simpovarulida Sesusini tslimaskveni savsegulida Digitada simpovarulida Shezedadma madarao Sesa shemo madarao Shezedinit kharab zuria Aslebu გაზაფხულია გაზაფხულზე მომენატრეები როცა თითლად მოავის ათმები დაგვირგვული შროშანებით შენზე მღერია შენი ბაგებში მისფერია დაგვირგვული შროშანებით შენზე მღერია
I just mentioned the word mshvidoba, peace, has 3 consonants, m, sh, v, but actually there are words that have 5 consonants side by side. So for instance, somebody from Turkish language people whose native language is Turkish probably would find it extremely difficult to pronounce. So then, you know this river, if you know the river Kura that goes through Tbilisi, the capital of Georgia, the river Kura is called in Georgian Mtkvari. It has 4 consonants, m, t, k, v, Mtkvari. But if you put it into genitive case, a will fall and you will have Mtkvris. M, t, k, v, r, is. So this word has 6 consonants and 1 vowel and puts 5 consonants together, Mtkvris. On the other hand, some words consist only of vowels. There is a word that consists of 2 vowels, ia, or word ai, here it is, ai. And there is like a word, for instance, if I want to say walk, like imperative, walk, I will say aiare. This word has 4 vowels and 1 consonant, so it's very disbalanced. Aiare, but on the other hand, Mtkvris. Persian language, unlike Georgian, has long vowels, short vowels, and cannot have so many consonants together, of course. I didn't learn Persian properly. I learned the grammar, and the grammar was so simple compared to other languages that in a month's time I finished the textbook and I said, where's the rest of the grammar? And I discovered, like, that's it. There is no more grammar, you know. But you need to practice the language and you need to learn new words and phrases and keep practicing it in order to use it and to communicate. And this is what I don't have with Persian. I never pursued it. Persian is the weakest language. I know only on basic level, and also modern Hebrew as well, which is very basic level. In many ways, Persian language resembles English. Indo-European languages, you know, both of them. And there are so many words that actually are almost like the same. For instance, the word bad. For star, Persians say sitare. For instance, for better, they say behter. And for mother, they say modar. For father, they say peder. For brother, they say berader. And the structure is also similar, so let's take an example. Let's take a sentence, a very short sentence. I will tell you that I love you. Let's say the shortest possible in English. I will, or okay, I'll tell you I love you. I'll tell you I love you. 6 words. That's the shortest version. I will tell you that I love you is 8 words. Okay, and in Persian it is Betu khohem goft tura dust darem. Okay, we see lots of words here. In Georgian, you need only 2 words to say that. Getqwi miqwarkhar. That's it. I think so much is enough for this part, and with this part I'm finishing the videos where I tell you about my languages and what's so fascinating in those languages that I learned. Now it's time to turn the page.